Hello, everybody. Back here again for another vlog a day. And today is Wednesday the 3rd. And today was a rather interesting day weather-wise. Started off beautiful. Had some heavy humidity in the air, not too bad. Then it rained like hell for a little while in like different parts of the state. Rained like hell here for a while. And then it cleaned off and turned out to be a beautiful day. I think it got up like mid 70s, something like that. Absolutely beautiful sunny day at the end of the day, but middle morning, noon time, that was kind of nasty and raining and whatnot. But I got up, went and got my run in fairly decent this morning. Only went like just a little over 5 miles, nothing real major, which kind of sucked being National Running Day. I would have ran a lot longer, but I had to get back home, get cleaned up, so I could take my grandmother up to Des Moines to have surgery. So it was one of those fun things where I ended up taking them up there. My grandfather's been having some, I guess, Alzheimer's type slips, or what do I want to call it. Like, he doesn't know where he's at. He's confused, can't find things in the kitchen and that kind of stuff and whatnot. So my grandma wanted me to go with him to kind of in case something went wrong, whatever. He had a good day. He didn't have any episodes or nothing, but get stuck in Des Moines, and she hasn't driven in years and years, and it would not be good. And they're both in their 80s, so it's not the, most unlikely thing to have something happen and go wrong and cause a problem. So I end up basically spending my day with my grandparents at hospitals and labs and stuff, getting blood work and surgeries and that crap. That was my National Running Day. So it was not the best National Running Day at all, but oh well, it works out. So it was amazingly not that long of a day. I got home pretty late, but not horribly late, that kind of deal. But it was just a mental drain. Like, it's just amazing how much that can really mind whip your ass and just destroy you. Physically, I didn't really do crap, but just the sitting around, the worrying, the trying to reassure them. My grandmother is damn near deaf now, and she needs a hearing aid. She's been needing a hearing aid for the last probably 15 years and won't go do it. There's always some other excuse. She's got to take care of this or that first. And this problem she's having, they finally had surgery. It's, I don't know, about 4 years in the making, trying to get this solved. And every doctor they talked to just kept kind of using excuse of, well, you're old and the pacemaker, it's high risk, and we don't want to go in there and yada, yada, yada. I'm like, well, you went in there 3 months ago and screwed it up, but you won't go in there and fix it. So definitely one of those issues related to push. And they finally found a doctor who could take care of it. And I kept telling Grandma, I'm like, you can still go get a hearing aid even though you have other problems. Now she's saying that once she's got, hopefully this fixed it, she can go get her tooth fixed. Her tooth's been hurting her like crazy, and then once she gets that done, she can work on the next thing. I'm like, you can work on multiple things at one time. So it's not like you're out trying to run a giant, CEO of a corporation or something. You can fix multiple things. Doctors are willing to work around the schedule. So it's one of those things where the doctors will tell her stuff, and she can't hear them. And instead of admitting she can't hear them, so they scream at her, she just shakes her head. Yes, okay, I understand. Kind of crap. And it's happened to me in the past with things that people have said, and I look at her and say, okay, do you know what they're talking about? Because I don't know. And she's like, oh, yeah, yeah. And then literally they'll leave and that kind of thing stuff, including one of the things with my father right before he passed away. And then I talked to her and stuff, and she's like, I have no idea what he was talking about. I'm like, she goes, I don't even remember him asking that. So we looked at her and she goes, oh, probably didn't hear him. I'm like, then stop agreeing with people, because that was a question that he's now dead. I could never go back and ask him. And you told me you knew what he was talking about. And you was going to show me what this was, and it's not there at all. So that kind of thing just drives me insane. She has insurance, she has Medicaid, Medicare, whatever kind of stuff, blah, blah. She can get a hearing aid. It's not like it's a big deal. They have money still. It's not like they're, poverty stricken, they can afford to go to the doctor. So the fact that you're like feeling like I have to fix this one thing and it's 4 or 5 years in and you haven't had a hearing aid and you can't hear crap. I don't know how many times we'll be having a conversation and she'll be over there just nodding, like, like complete agreeing stuff. Then I'll ask her opinion on it. She's like, I don't know, I couldn't hear you. And I'm like, then stop agreeing with me. So I'll scream at you, or I'll step next to you and yell in your ear, what the hell it is. And even this one came out of surgery, and the doctors were telling her all kinds of stuff. And she's like, yep, yep, yep. And they leave, and then she looks at me and my grandpa, and she's like, well, can I do such and such? I'm like, they just told you. And she's like, well, I couldn't hear. That's why I wanted you to hear. I'm like, what if we weren't paying attention either? I'm like, why not just make the doctor yell at you or get a damn hearing aid? So there's a lot of that, just that mental frustration where it just kind of drives you nuts. So, but it's all over. It's all done. The doctor said it went surprisingly well. He said he was really happy with the results, and she had to go back up in like 3 weeks. She had to go back up for a follow-up, and then we can go from there. But she was, the Vicodin kicked in on the way home, so she kept dozing off in the back of the car, which is good for us. It's going to help you heal a lot better, and that's not a bad thing to be asleep. So definitely glad to be home, super glad to be home. I don't know, it's that weird deal that it's amazing how, like I said, the day wasn't necessarily a super long day, but it's just that mental drain of a long day. So that was pretty much my whole thing. Like I said, it was beautiful sunny days after we got there. Like, my grandfather drove the first probably, I don't know, 30 minutes a day, and I drove the rest of the day. And he had the wipers on while he was driving out of town. And by the time we got to where we stopped in there and changed drivers, I never turned the wipers on. So it was a nice enough day. The roads were still wet and that kind of thing stuff. I never actually used the wipers. So my drive was nice. And like I said, it worked out really good because my grandmother doesn't get around real fast. So having to get an umbrella for and all that kind of thing would have been much better off without having to get out in the rain. So luckily, only Grandpa and I had to be out in the rain. We, actually, I guess I only had to be out in the rain. I had to go out to the car because they were got in the garage. So I was the only thing there. Overall, the day was fine. It was one of those things that was just annoying as all get out. So that happens, and it's good to go. So hopefully we'll find out everything went well in 3 weeks, and then she can move on to fixing the next thing, like her tooth. And I'm going to just keep hounding on her the fact of the whole, the hearing aid, because you just got to get a hearing aid. It's going to kill her, because Grandpa is, not remembering stuff that great. He's losing where the bread's been. The bread's been in the same cupboard in that house the entire time they've owned that house, and he couldn't find the bread kind of thing. So obviously he's on the verge of slipping out of there. So if he slips out and she can't hit the doctors, guess what? Or even the simple fact he's gonna be down in the basement, fall and hurt himself, and she's upstairs and she's not gonna hear it. So one of those things I keep trying to explain to her: you have to get a hearing aid. But what can you do? I can't physically force her to go get a hearing aid, but I can just stop, talking to her pretty much to the point. I'm not going to yell at you. You can get a hearing aid. I can talk to you normally. I'm tired of screaming when I'm around you. And I feel like I'm angry all the time. When I'm talking to her, it becomes screaming. Even though we're having a wonderful conversation, I still have to scream. And it's just, you can hear my throat's like just super, like I'm hoarse today after talking to my grandmother all day. And that just gets crazy annoying. So other than that, pretty much it. So I went to the store, got some groceries and that. Saw a friend of mine that was kind of doing a little bit of running and biking and stuff. They've done RAGBRAI and that, and they were all limping along as I walked in the Hy-Vee and asked them what happened. I guess they hurt their back or something. I'm not sure exactly what happened, so I laughed at them and had it on out. They weren't doing that bad. They were still, walking along. So definitely, it's kind of, I don't know. It was kind of fun just laughing at somebody and that kind of thing. It's like, obviously they weren't hurt horribly bad. They would have said they really, such and such and such. So went ahead, that type of relationship where you just laugh at somebody. So anyway, that's all I got for now. I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Have yourself a safe and wonderful day. Thanks for watching.